Welcome to The Explainer, decoding the Wi-Fi myth and viral scripting. Okay, so today we're taking a super fast-paced look into a really fascinating piece of source material. It gives us this awesome double whammy, right? First, it completely exposes a massive, universally believed tech myth. And second, it simultaneously reveals the exact calculated recipe used to package that myth into viral content. Now, you rely on this technology literally every single day. You're probably using it to listen to this right now, but we're going to look at where the name actually comes from, and maybe more importantly, how the internet is perfectly designed to tell you about it.
Boom! Did you know Wi-Fi doesn't actually stand for anything? Okay, that question right there, that is an in media res hook. The source material we're looking at is essentially a blueprint for a short-form tech explainer, and it demands that we start by shattering your assumptions right out of the gate. It's designed to stop you dead in your tracks. Because logically, we've all been conditioned to think that a ubiquitous tech term just has to be some complex acronym, right?
Okay, let's dive into Section 1, the ultimate tech myth.
Our source document is totally focused on separating public perception from reality when it comes to this technology. And the core conflict here is brilliant. On one side, we have the myth, wireless fidelity. I mean, it sounds perfect, doesn't it? It sounds incredibly scientific, super technical. Millions of people believe this to be absolute stone-cold fact. But the reality, which is explicitly stated in our text, is that it doesn't stand for anything at all. Nothing. The heavy contrast between this official-sounding jargon and the slightly disappointing truth is exactly what makes this such a compelling nugget of info to uncover.
Moving right along to Section 2, the 1999 marketing pivot.
So, if it doesn't stand for wireless fidelity, where on earth did it come from? Well, let's stop right here at the year 1999. This specific year was an absolute turning point. Wireless networking technology was just emerging, but the people behind it, this group called the Wi-Fi Alliance, realized they had a really serious problem. The underlying tech was completely revolutionary, but they needed a way to actually communicate what it was to, well, normal everyday people.
The completely mundane, very corporate reality revealed in our source material is that in 1999, the Wi-Fi Alliance just went out and hired an outside marketing company. Their one and only goal? Create a catchy tech name. That's it. They specifically had to pivot away from all that complex engineering jargon and find something that would just easily roll off the tongue of everyday consumers. So this term wasn't born in some high-tech laboratory by a bunch of engineers. It was literally born in a boardroom by marketers trying to solve a super basic branding problem.
Which brings us to Section 3, the hi-fi inspiration.
Now, what's really interesting here is the sheer simplicity of the marketer's solution. They looked at the landscape of consumer technology and found hi-fi. Hi-fi, which stands for high fidelity, was already an incredibly popular, widely understood audio term, as our source points out. So the marketing company just took inspiration from that existing familiarity. They bridged the gap between audio terminology that consumers already trusted and this crazy new invisible wireless networking tech. It was essentially a massive psychological shortcut.
And that brings us to this definitive conclusion. Wi-Fi is simply a brand name. It is not a technical abbreviation. It is entirely devoid of scientific meaning. The marketing company actually did their job so incredibly well, creating something so ubiquitous and natural sounding that society retroactively invented the phrase wireless fidelity just to make it fit our expectations of how technology should be named. It's wild, but at the end of the day, it's purely a carefully crafted brand identity.
All right, let's look at Section 4, anatomy of a viral fact.
But wait, there's a whole second layer to this explainer. We just went over the history of Wi-Fi, but let's shift gears smoothly and look at the meta-narrative. Because the source text we're analyzing today isn't some dry encyclopedia entry, it's a literal blueprint for how to package these very facts into a highly engaging format for modern audiences. Let's unpack this exact recipe. Our source document lays out specific structural elements to manipulate pacing and ensure maximum viewer engagement for short-form content. The narrator is instructed to speak entirely in English with a clear American accent style. The duration must be strictly 30 to 40 seconds. It demands a fast-paced, engaging delivery, that strong hook at the beginning we saw earlier, and a clear call to action at the end. We're getting a peek right into the raw, calculated machinery of viral content creation. It's not just about what the facts are, it's about engineering the absolute optimal delivery vehicle for those facts. And here is the big payoff. The script flow dictates that the creator delivers this exact climactic line straight from our source. So one of the most famous technology terms in the world is actually just a marketing name. This brilliantly illustrates exactly how a structured script delivers its big myth versus reality resolution.
Within a mere 40 seconds, the viewer's baseline assumption is completely challenged. The historical truth of that 1999 marketing meeting is revealed, and the whole thing is wrapped up in this neat, mind-blowing summary.
And of course, the content machine requires a final step. Follow for more amazing tech facts. This is the exact final call to action required by our source text, specifically designed to trap that engagement. It leaves us marveling at two things at once, doesn't it? The fascinating historical truth about how a marketing team fooled the world into thinking Wi-Fi meant something scientific, and the highly calculated modern machinery of viral scripting designed to feed you that exact truth in under a minute. So I'll leave you with this final thought. The next time you learn a mind-blowing fact online, are you more impressed by the information itself or by the invisible, perfectly engineered script that commanded your attention until the very end?